Hello and welcome back to the Football Chat podcast. It's episode number 91 today, where we're going to be talking about Cody Gakpo and other sort of transfer rumours in the run-in to January. Transfer window's just around the corner. Are you excited for it, Harry?
I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I think there's some clubs that are going to be doing a lot of business, the likes of Liverpool, hopefully Chelsea, Villa, maybe Arsenal, we could see big moves. But then you have teams that might make one signing.
Or none, in the case of Tottenham, probably. And United, we know now for certain. But we'll start with Liverpool then. Cody Gakpo. For 40 mil, it's a brilliant signing, isn't it?
And it's exactly who they need. I mean, clearly they've looked at the most recent game against Villa and gone, we're starting Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain left wing. Yeah. We need to sign someone.
It moved very quickly, didn't it? It was almost like they reacted to that game when we need Cody Gakpo, and within, it's announced that they were interested, and then within about half an hour they'd signed him. So very, very quick move from Liverpool. And I think Gakpo's a good signing. He offers you a lot of versatility. We know he can play in a two up front together. We saw that at the World Cup, or as the lone striker, or out on the left. So they've got options. It means that Liverpool, they've kept changing systems so far this season. They can continue to do that if they wish. Excellent rotation option. I think when Diaz is back, you'd expect him to start, right?
That is my only question. What happens when you've got Salah, Gakpo, Firmino, Jota, Diaz?
Yeah, Nunez, obviously. I think everyone just rotates, would be the obvious. Considering Diaz, though, is out injured at the moment, Jota's out injured, Firmino's out injured, it shows that you will always have probably one. I don't think you're ever going to have all six fit, so I don't think that's a huge concern. Well, exactly, and then you could line up with four up front.
And you could drop Nunez, because Nunez isn't very good.
You despise Darwin Nunez
you
for
cannot
no
watch him
logical
in that
reason.
Liverpool Villa game and say that he played well.
But a front three of Gakpo, of Nunez and of Salah is a very exciting front three.
It's going to be interesting to see if he can hit the ground running. Because
I think he will. Similar to how Diaz did, I think he will.
But obviously that is Pro League is a big step up. And at the World Cup, I look at the opposition that they were playing. He did all right, but look at the group stage games. I look at the round of 16. He was brilliant. Once they got that step up to the quarterfinals against Argentina, if I remember rightly, he didn't really do much.
But that was a huge step up in quality. That was the team that went on to win the tournament.
But that's the big step up in quality we're going to see from the Eredivisie to the Premier League. Can he make that?
I think that's hard to say, because a World Cup quarter-final does not compare to a random Tuesday night game. There's a lot of factors that could have come into play.
That a Tuesday night away at Bournemouth is harder than a World Cup quarter-final.
Obviously it isn't, but yeah, there's a lot of factors that come into play. I don't think he was particularly bad in that game. He just struggled to have an impact.
To see how he does. If you're Man United, I mean, they've stolen Liverpool.
Have they? This is the thing. I think most people thought that Gakpo to United was wrapped up. I know a lot of United fans thought Gakpo to United was wrapped up, but obviously now that is untrue. Yeah. Apparently United didn't even bid for him. And actually, they, as much as they were interested, they've made it quite clear now with their following statement that actually they aren't going to be signing players this window, only doing loans.
Because they are still 4 or 5 players away from being a top side.
And we'll get on to United in just a moment, but I want to touch on Liverpool. What else do Liverpool need? We've complained about how actually their squad isn't good enough this year. Is it just 100%. A middle midfielder?
I think so. Maybe.
I think a middle midfielder is definitely necessary.
Right back as well, because as good as James Milner's done this season, you need a backup to Trent, and it can't be Joe Gomez.
Well, Joe Gomez is very good.
He's not. He was awful.
They've got Calvin Ramsey as well, the youngster, who you presume they'll be looking to try and develop into that role.
I don't think he's ready though. That's what I'm saying. Because realistically, they need a starting right back.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really understand why you don't give him minutes when Bajkatic came on. You saw how well he did the other night. Last night at the time of recording.
What's his name?
Doak.
I
don't know.
Doak. The Scottish striker.
Yeah, Doak.
Yeah, you got some good talents, and that is the thing with Liverpool. They don't want to buy more players, because then you do kind of. Does that then cut off the options?
Equally, their midfield three last night was not stunning. I mean, it started all right with Hendo, Thiago, Fabinho, but either way, I think you'd still not want Henderson starting in the Premier League.
They could have brought Elliott on. They had Keita on the bench.
Again, though, I think they still need a central midfielder considering how injured their midfielder's been. It looks like Enzo Fernandez is the guy they're targeting.
That's a brilliant deal.
Whether they can get him and Bellingham, I doubt it strongly. But
they have to get one or the other, and if they get Enzo Fernandez, they're not getting Bellingham.
Yeah, but Enzo's still a fantastic player.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I do also think it's a lot of money. Look for owners that are trying to sell the club, and also I think if you're another team in the Premier League, if you're a City, you're a Chelsea, you do everything in your power to stop Liverpool getting both of them.
Oh yeah, of course they will. And I don't think Liverpool have the pull for Jude right now anyway. And I don't think Chelsea do. I don't think anyone other than Manchester City do right now. Which we could touch on them next because there's not a lot to discuss there with City. They don't need anything. Like they've built this perfect squad.
It doesn't matter if they need something though. They're still going to spend 100 million on some world-class player and then rip up the Premier League for the next 15 years.
There is reported interest in Jude Bellingham, Declan Rice.
I'm sorry, but if they buy Bellingham, there's no point competing in the Premier League no more.
They could get Bellingham and Rice. And they could subsidise that cost if they were to ship off Calvin Phillips, who we know
Pep Guardiola really doesn't like.
There's a negative feeling around him at the club at the moment. Understandable, he's come back from the World Cup apparently overweight and not fit to play. Not great from him. You're stunned by that. And yeah, I think they could also sell Grealish and suddenly you're fine. So I don't know. I feel
and the difference
Bellingham's a 16 is pretty nailed on now. That's unfortunate.
Because they've got all money, it doesn't matter if they make a loss on Grealish. You know, even another team, say or maybe a Chelsea or an Arsenal, spent 100 million on Grealish and only sold him for 40, 50.
I think they could still get more.
Who's going to buy him? My next question.
Maybe an Arsenal.
See, I'd have said the only option I'd have said was Man United.
No.
But they wouldn't, that's what I'm saying.
United aren't spending any money, let alone giving it to their rivals. No, United are not buying from Man City. Grealish should go abroad. I don't know. I feel like if Grealish is going to leave...
Ibiza is the only place he's been abroad.
Right. And Qatar. If Grealish is going to leave, it'll be a loan deal with a sort of option to buy.
I just don't see where he goes.
I don't think he will. I don't think he has to. He's done all right.
He's happy to sit on the bench and win Premier Leagues.
Well, I think he'll also... It's not like he's not getting any minutes. I don't think he's going to be upset either way if he doesn't play.
Being at City ensures that he will get in the England squad. Because as we've learned, if you go abroad, you're not getting in the England squad.
Yeah, unless you're stunning. Like your Jude Bellingham level good.
That's it.
He's
not good enough.
But Maguire is.
Yeah.
Maguire had a good tournament, to be fair to him.
He did.
Should we talk about United?
Yeah.
Since that's the most fun topic. Who do they target now? Because the Glazers have said that they will only sanction loan moves. They won't be allowing any sort of purchases. So, yeah, that boxes. That really does. Just
Grealish.
Stop them doing anything.
You said a loan with obligation to buy.
That option to buy, not obligation. No one wants that.
Oh, yeah,
in case he stinks it. But yeah, United sort of now stuck with loan moves. There's definitely they can still get some good business done, but that does limit them. They need a striker. I think that's their biggest priority.
But Rashford through the middle looks good.
Nah, Rashford won't be playing through the middle, I don't think, unfortunately. I don't know. He didn't start from the middle the other night, did he? It was Martial.
Yeah, that's strange.
Why? Martial is a good striker, but they'll want someone to compete with him because at the moment they don't have anyone.
He's a good striker, but is he world class?
No.
Martial?
No, but United don't need world class. They're competing in the Europa League.
No, I'm not saying it's I guess it's a loan, isn't it?
Yeah, okay. And then they wait till the summer and maybe they'll have money to spend then. So Memphis Depay is a name I've seen thrown around a lot. United fans are not too buzzing about signing one of their former rejects, but where would you stand on that? Do you think that's a good move? Or I know you don't like Memphis Depay.
But I look at other options. There are none.
Well, there is. Right now, João Felix is linked with a loan.
But if Chelsea come knocking, he's going to say no.
Why?
To United.
Chelsea United right now. It's a tough choice.
No, it's not.
But I hope he picks Chelsea.
I think the big thing would be Champions League football.
I pray he does. Yeah, that will be a big pull. For United, other loan options? Modeste?
Christ.
Could be available on the loan if Allaire will be back now in January.
I mean, would Dortmund loan out Adeyemi?
No, I don't think so.
What? They just sit him on the bench.
Yeah, but no, they have been playing him more.
Oh, okay.
And United, if they loan him to United, there's a chance that he likes it there and stays, and that'll be a problem for Dortmund, obviously.
If they finally drop Modeste and stop playing him.
Who else is available right now? I think personally you put I think Martial will start in the middle, but you have to have a second striker.
Yeah.
So I think a loan for Depay makes sense, as he is a very good player. He could start if necessary. He does give you depth in wide areas as well. I know United fans aren't going to like that, but I don't think João Felix is going to go to Manchester United. I think he'll go Chelsea, in which case United's best bet is to go for...
So staying on the Dutch topic, Luke de Jong?
Oh, no. I don't think Barcelona can allow Luke de Jong to leave, right?
Why not?
Unless they're bringing in a striker.
Well,
they've only got Lewandowski.
They
They don't have a Aubameyang, he plays for Chelsea, mate. They've got Lewa, and that's it.
They've got Lewa and Torres can play for
And De Jong. You're not going to get rid of De Jong.
Okay. I'm trying to think of anyone that wants to play up front. What's Griezmann doing nowadays?
He's at Atleti
Sitting on the bench, isn't he?
I don't think so, no. He starts for Atletico Madrid. And he doesn't want to push for a move right now, I don't think. I think he'll get even more starting minutes when Felix goes. No, and it's not even like there's Diego Costa still available on a free that they could have picked up or something like that.
I look at the United squad right now. If they don't improve in January, I don't see them winning the Europa League, and I don't see them getting top four.
A bit of a weird one, but what about Morata on a loan? We know the Serie A love to do their loan moves. They do a 6-month loan with an obligation at 50 mil, or an option maybe at 50 mil.
In their position, why not? Just gamble.
Yeah, I wouldn't put an obligation at Alvaro Morata, but he could fit the mould quite nicely.
Yeah.
He fits the current trend of Premier League strikers. Terrible. You look at Nunez.
Yeah. Who's not? So if Werner's starting for Leipzig, you've got Poulsen or Andre Silva.
They're not right. People aren't going to sell their rotation strikers.
No, they got three.
It's only if the players want to leave.
Does Morata want to leave?
And why would Leipzig sell Silva or Poulsen? They're both happy at the clubs, and they're both good. They're already losing Nkunku. They're going to lose Lima to Bayern because Bayern sign everyone on free. And
they just ruin the Bundesliga.
Exactly.
Sign all the good players.
Probably going to lose Dani Olmo anyway.
I'm trying to actually just think of players that United can actually sign.
Well, yeah, if they're looking at purely loan moves, it's going to have to be for players that are unhappy at big European sides. And I think the only players I see are Depay, Felix and Morata. Even Morata seems fairly content at Juve.
I think also away from
Vlahovic also wants to leave.
Away from the striker topic, probably a centre-half as well.
I think United can't be...
Because if Varane...
Beggars not choosers right now.
If Varane and if you're missing one of Varane or Lissandro, you have Maguire or Lindelof.
I think there's less high-profile centre-halves who want to leave on loans. It's the issue. If United want a good centre-half, they're going to have to cough up. They should be in the fight for Benoit Badiashile right now, but they're not. Good. He'd be a good pick-up for 40 mil for them.
They don't have any money.
They don't. Should we move on to Chelsea?
Yeah, because United got nothing.
United have nothing. Chelsea splashing everything. 3 done deals already this window. Andre Santos from Santos, the attacking midfielder, can play in wide areas as well. Fantastic young Brazilian wonder kid. It's a good bit of business already from Chelsea.
Hendrick, so we went to the next best thing.
Well, yeah, he is 18, 19, something like that. He's fantastic young talent. Will be in the development side for a while, you'd imagine, but or at least a year or two. Might get a loan move to. What's the team in... I've got the name now. Team in Netherlands.
Eredivisie.
What? Yeah, we loan it to the league.
Oh, yeah, the green, yellow, greeny colour.
This is very poor.
Oh my god.
But Marco van Ginkel went as well. Oh, Vitesse.
Yeah, they're not in Dutch league, are they?
Yeah.
Oh.
Why did you think Vitesse were?
Switzerland.
Mark. No, Vitesse in the Dutch league. They've also signed David Datro Fofana, is that his name?
The striker. The
striker from Genk. Good young player. Again, another smart bit of business. Chelsea clearly recruiting for the future. One that is for the here and now, though. Christopher Nkunku. Big signing.
Wow. Love him. Absolutely love him. Watched him in the Champions League and in the Bundesliga. He's just good. He's just got everything, really, isn't he?
Unfortunately, he won't join until the summer, I believe. Yeah. But still a good bit of business.
So going into next season, the thing is though, Chelsea done well because they've got the deal done, which means no matter what happens, he has to come.
Yeah, but if he breaks both his legs,
then
they've spent
£50
million.
If Chelsea don't get Champions League football,
and
he can't be annoyed
still
by
stuck.
it. He has to stay.
But I think Chelsea were confident they can get Champions League football. Then in terms of rumours, Benoit Badiashile seems like virtually a done deal. That makes a lot of sense. Christopher Vival, who is the new technical director at Chelsea, that was announced the other day. He was at Monaco, big fan of Benoit Badiashile, and it seems now attention at left centre half has turned to him over Gvardiol. And I don't know if I necessarily agree with that move, but Leipzig wanted way too much for Josko Gvardiol, despite the fact he is very talented. Badiashile seems like a good move, especially for 35 million.
Thiago Silva cannot start every single game. Trevor Chalobah is alright, and then
Chalobah's sensational.
No.
What are you on?
No, I'm not saying he wasn't.
Okay.
Chalobah's good. Koulibaly's hit and miss. And
I think a lot of the Chelsea higher ups are fed up with Koulibaly already.
And then also pass that back free. Your next player is then Azpilicueta.
Well, I mean Fofana.
But he's injured.
Jazz just got injured again.
Exactly.
In a pre-season friendly, which is unfortunate. Yeah, Badiashile will offer a nice layer of protection there. I think he'll have long-term competition with Levi Colwill for that left centre-half role, but also Wesley Fofana. I don't know how this all fits together. Koulibaly's going to start short-term, you'd imagine, but Badiashile will compete for minutes, obviously, in the Premier League and Champions League. There's a lot of minutes to go round. So that makes sense, I feel, to bring in another centre-half.
Because we drew City twice and we've already been knocked out on one.
Yes, we've got to play City again in the FA Cup. Very exciting times. Felix loan as well is another move that is apparently being talked about. Chelsea talks to sign João Felix on a loan. This is a deal that gets me very excited.
I think he's a good player, and obviously having only one striker fit at the club right now, we do need someone to come in.
Well, yeah, Felix is very, very exciting. He can play. It looks like that we will prefer to have Havertz through the middle and try Felix in a wide area. Now that I think can work. Havertz just needs more experience playing through the middle, and João Felix creativity. If we can get him on the ball, but the problem for me now is we don't have a goal scorer. We need Mason Mount to start firing again, or we need Havertz to start actually scoring goals.
Or Sterling hit the ground running after.
That's what I don't sort of understand is where Sterling and Aubameyang fit into the current system. I think the plan now is Aubameyang will not be at Chelsea after the summer. In which case he is now going to be an impact sub.
Eagles a bit of a panic buy.
And for Sterling, I think he will start on the left for this season, for the rest of this season. But where he fits after that, I don't know. Because if you'd imagine Nkunku comes in and starts, I don't know how you piece together Havertz leading the line, Sterling, Nkunku, Mount, Felix. That's 5 attackers already.
Well, Felix is
not even thinking about people like Pulisic.
If we're talking about next season, Felix will be there.
If Felix is coming in on a loan, the plan is that if he does well enough, he gets signed, right? That's ultimately the plan there. Currently, Atletico Madrid want 140 mil. Which is completely insane.
For a bloke who sat on the bench every single game.
But potentially with instalments, you could get that down to 90 up front. Maybe if you work them hard enough, you could definitely get that down to 70 up front. And maybe 90, 100 rising. But yeah, it's going to be an expensive deal regardless, unless he really struggles on loan, in which case no one wants him.
Chelsea's lack of injuries and the amount of games that players are playing nowadays is absolutely mental, so I guess you just want as many rotation options as possible. Yeah,
and I think having Felix would be sensational.
Yeah.
I think he just is a fantastic player. There's no doubt about that. It's just whether he can be consistent and whether we can build around him. He's a player we can build around. It's whether we choose to build around him.
Yeah.
Personally, I would have him starting through the middle. And Nkunku one side, Sterling the other.
That's one thing
for
Chelsea's
now,
never done.
Mount starts on the right, but
definitely not in the last few years, is build a team around a player. Like everyone else does. City build around Haaland, Tottenham build around Kane, Liverpool build around Salah, United build around... United don't.
No. They put around Pogba for a bit, didn't they? Well, that's the plan. Never happened.
Then they tried doing Bruno, and then they tried Ronaldo, and look where that's ended up.
Yeah.
Chelsea have never really tried, just tried to do it.
It was built around Hazard for years.
Oh, yeah,
and that was
that's
where
what I'm
Chelsea
saying.
were most successful.
Last few years, though.
But then, won the Champions League 2 years ago. So.
We did win Chelsea 2 years. I think that was just a bit of magic from Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah.
Because if I look at our squad right now and go, how on earth did we win the Champions League 2 years ago with Marcus Alonso starting left back?
I think though, getting back to Chelsea's window now, there is a glaring issue so far with the recruitment, and that is the lack of central midfielders we've signed.
When you have Jorginho, who isn't good, it just can't really cut it anymore.
Jorginho, who's leaving in 6 months. Kante, who's leaving in 6 months.
And injured all the time.
And has not been fit to play a game this season. Kovacic, who is regularly injured. Gallagher, who can play in a 3, but we haven't played with a 3 yet. And Mount, who also can't play in a pivot. So if we're going to get to the summer and have Chukwuemeka as our midfield,
I do think in the short term, Dennis Zakaria, we should use him more.
He's 100%. He's clearly very good.
He's looked quite good, and I do think if he actually had a good season, we could. I wouldn't mind.
We're recording this before the Bournemouth game, so we don't know what Potter will line up with. I'm hoping it'll be a 4-3-3.
We could have lined up and lost 2-0. We could have won 8-0, and Des Zakaria could have scored 7 goals.
Exactly. I don't know how we'll line up. I'm hoping it's a midfield 3. I'm hoping it's going to be Jorginho. You imagine a little deeper, and then some sort of Gallagher, Mount, Chukwuemeka, Kovacic, something like that.
Got to use Chukwuemeka more.
Yeah.
He hasn't. Yes, he's given like a couple sub appearances, and that looked great for Chelsea. But the talent that we purchased, the glimpses of what we saw from him at Villa was so good, and the amount of Villa fans that were annoyed that we let him go, because he is a really, really good player. Got a lot of potential, and I feel like right now at the moment it's another Hudson-Odoi story.
Might be worth just giving him minutes. Well, so it's not though, because Chukwuemeka isn't as upset he's not getting minutes.
And his agent isn't his brother, and he isn't going to be.
But I also think he's better than Hudson was at this stage. Hudson needed a loan move. Hudson refused to go out on loan. Chukwuemeka's been signed by Chelsea because he's already good enough.
Yeah,
he's not someone who's come through the academy. He's not got to 18 now and we're going, you need to go out on loan. He is 19. He has been playing minutes for Villa. He should be getting minutes with us.
You go.
No.
I was going to say, I also do like, we're giving minutes to him. I do like the fact that we're
Lewis Hall. He could start against Bournemouth again. It'll be interesting to see.
Not fit yet. He's
you'd imagine Cucurella will
I forgot
start left back.
I forgot we had him. We were going through centre halves and we didn't mention him because at left centre half he was tragic.
Yeah, I'm not. If I see Cucurella at centre back again, I'm going to cry. I'll just flipping tables, mate. But yeah, in terms of what Chelsea need, Declan Rice.
100%. I'd love. Yeah. I'd break the bank for him.
We might as well. I feel Rice. Watching him against against Arsenal last night, he looks done. He looks like he's fed up of playing for West Ham. And David Moyes admitted for the first time ever that he would be that West Ham would be open to selling Declan Rice to a bigger club this January.
All the money at the Hammers.
Don't chuck everything because we need money to go for Bellingham, which I know it probably isn't going to happen, but I'll hold out some hope that comes to the bridge.
If I'm Chelsea, I'm chucking everything I've got at Declan Rice.
I'm not chucking everything. It has to be a reasonable bid, but I think you can get him for 70, 80 mil. I mean, people were talking about with Gakpo. People were saying PSV wanted 100 mil, 80 mil. They've sold him for 40 mil. So
it's just.
I don't. As much as West Ham have thrown ridiculous figures like 140 mil, I think 80 mil you get Declan Rice. Maybe you throw in either a player or instalments or something. I don't know, but you could definitely get Rice at cheaper than what is being rumoured at the moment in the press. So I don't think it's going to cost an arm and a leg, a kitchen sink, and the stadium to sign Declan Rice.
But I would give that to sign.
I would not give up the brick.
I'd give him my kitchen sink though.
Okay, you're gonna rip your sink off the wall for Declan Rice.
Yeah.
Well, next up, should we talk about Arsenal?
Yeah.
Club at the top of the table right now. It's 7 points clear, right?
What's he sit with again? We haven't seen the City Leeds game, so
no. But currently, Newcastle are ahead of City, so that doesn't matter.
Newcastle are really good, you know.
Newcastle second. If City lose to Leeds, Newcastle are second in the Premier League.
That's
7 points clear of Newcastle with a game in hand on Newcastle, may I add. Arsenal, of course. It's been a really dominant season so far. 15 matches played, 40 points to their name.
Even if City win, they're still 5 points clear of City. When did that happen?
That's City lost to Brentford, didn't they, last game of before the World Cup? So yeah, City are a bit off. Arsenal flying at the moment, and they want to push on while they're ahead favourites to sign Ukrainian youngster Mikhailo Mudryk.
What a player!
He is. I've seen a bit of him in the Champions League. I have to admit, not watched much of the Ukrainian Premier League. A few interruptions in there. Broadcasting schedule, I think, but yeah, he's looked really decent.
He looks very good.
He could have picked up more contributions. I remember Stepanenko missed a sitter against Celtic and that cost him an assist.
You add him to the Odegaard, Saka, Smith Rowe, Martinelli rotation. That's really good.
He's a brilliant option. I don't think he starts yet, but
no.
Yeah, he's definitely got to get a lot of minutes considering the money you're going to be paying for him.
Young team, but so good that if they're winning leagues now, what's going to happen where all these young players hit their best levels?
It's an exciting prospect. It's exciting time to be an Arsenal fan. For any of you Arsenal fans out there, yeah, it's a shame, but the Arsenal fans out there are going to be buzzing right now. And Mudryk will probably cost upwards of 90 mil. That is very steep.
Especially when Liverpool got Gakpo.
Shakhtar are charging a premium at the moment, but I don't know. That was the fee rumoured at the summer. That was the fee that they were shouting about in October. I think he could go for 50 mil. Because I think Shakhtar will look at 50 mil and go, that's a reasonable amount for Mudryk, especially when Gakpo is just left for 40. So, and Kunku's around 45 as well. So Mudryk, any more than that, is going to be a little bit ludicrous. But I think for 50 mil, they're signing a fantastic player. I do think, though, that kid they bought, what was his name?
Fabio Vieira.
Him. He's got to be questioning what the hell's going on there, because he's been handed barely any minutes, and now they're bringing Mudryk in.
No, to be fair, he's played quite a bit.
Has he?
And I remember his brilliant goal at Brentford.
I'll be honest, I've not seen him play.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he can also play a little deep.
Has he started in the Premier League though? Fabio Vieira. That's the question, because I've not seen him get a start yet. Anyway, I think Mudryk's a brilliant player. I think a lot of people saying, oh, could he start on the left, could he start on the right? I think he'll operate more in attacking midfield as a rotation for Odegaard, which I think is necessary, because Odegaard, as good as he is, cannot play every single match.
Yeah, I think with Vieira, he can play a little deeper. He has played...
Go to stats, it would say how many he's started.
One start.
So yeah.
9 games, 1 goal, 1 assist.
How many minutes? 242 minutes for Vieira so far. From 14 games, right? That's not terrible, I guess, but 15 games. Yeah, not terrible,
17.
But he will be questioning Mudryk's... What?
We've played 17 games in the Premier League season.
No, it's game week 17, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Arsenal have missed one, and everyone missed one.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Arsenal, everyone missed one.
Well, yeah, Arsenal had to miss one for the Queen, and then everyone missed one for the Queen.
What is it? Oh, because
there was 2 Queen.
Right, yeah.
Or, Arsenal had to rearrange a load of stuff.
Arsenal, if you can keep adding to this brilliant squad, there's no reason why they can't challenge for the Premier League every year.
Yeah, I think they look really strong. In terms of up front then, because Nketiah was superb against West Ham. Have you seen his goal?
I haven't.
It's brilliant. The movement of his body, the turn and then the finish was world class. It was a world class goal.
He is quite good.
Is he okay as a rotation option for Arsenal? Is he okay to start the next month while Jesus is injured?
And this is bad coming from a Chelsea fan saying that he scored 2 goals against us last year. But he's good. I feel like he's good enough to rotate up against the West Hams and the bottom half of the table. Is he a good enough rotation to be starting against the top teams in the Premier League? To be starting probably not. In the round of 16 quarters of Europe? I think long term Arsenal need a striker, because Jesus is good and I think he'd be a fantastic rotation option. But is he good enough to start? I'd look at his numbers, I don't think he is, Gabriel Jesus. So, Nketiah, if he can come in, he could nail himself a starting spot. He's a goal a game so far. Yeah.
If he keeps that up throughout January.
I do have my doubts of whether he is good enough against the top 6 sides.
Sure, but he has to be given a chance to prove
Oh,
himself.
100%. And obviously he will develop. Again, he's another young player that they can chuck into this Arsenal team.
Yeah.
It looks really good for Arsenal. Everything's on the app.
They're in really good form. I thought maybe after the World Cup they might slip again, but no signs of letting up so far.
Because centre half, who's their third choice centre? What? Rob Holding?
Ben White.
Ben
Probably
White.
move across.
You could bring Tommy Yasu in.
They could do with another centre back.
Maybe.
Arguably.
Midfield, you've got Xhaka, who's transformed himself, and Partey and Lokonga.
Yeah, and you've got Vieira, as you mentioned.
And you've got Madrid coming in.
Yeah, so there's options for Arsenal there. But overall, I do think depth is another thing they need, because Jesus goes out and instantly people are going, Nketiah starts. So
is Matt Turner good enough as a goal? Back up.
But yeah, I am surprised to see Nketiah start. I thought they might play Martinelli higher and bring in Smith Rowe, who's had
I do feel bad for
a very small amount of minutes. But
he was brilliant last year.
Yeah, it was interesting to start this campaign. Martinelli got the nod, and he's been in fine form, so you can't really justify dropping him at the moment.
Scored again last night.
Yeah.
It's quite good.
He did. And Odegaard obviously having a fantastic season as well. He got 2 assists last night and took all 3 FPL bonus points. Things we love to see. Yeah, I put him in them. I had
I didn't have a single. I had Gabriel from Arsenal.
I had Martinelli the whole time, and I realised, you know what, I want Odegaard.
Fair enough.
He does both goals and assists, so, and on a more regular basis. But final team to talk about. Well, of the big 6, we like to run through the big 6. I mean, it's harsh on like Newcastle because they are superb.
Villa look like they're going to be doing quite a bit.
Newcastle haven't really been linked with anyone too public yet, so yeah, not much to talk about there. But Tottenham, very much nothing.
I'm shocked.
The only thing I can find is that there's some interest in Pedro Porro, and yippee, I guess. But
they've got Spence.
I think they forgot they signed Diched Spence because he's not played for Tottenham.
I don't feel bad for Tottenham fans. It's hilarious watching Emerson Royale start right wing back week in.
They've got Doherty, Spence, and Emerson Royale, and now they're targeting another right wing back. It's because all their right wing backs are terrible. Look at all 3 of them. Spence is good, but he's not been given any minutes. Doherty can't play anymore.
There might be a bit of response
and
after
Royale
the Brentford draw, but
tragic.
It really surprises me because you've got it's a knob. I mean, Romero.
This is the issue for Tottenham. They invested big in the summer and they've had no return. So why now would Daniel Levy invest again?
And where is their problem? They've got a front 3 of Son, Kane,
Kulusevski with Richarlison as their backup.
Brilliant. Midfield, you've got Højbjerg and Bentancur, Basuma as backup. Defence, you've got
Romero. Skip.
That might be a problem.
Well, there's mate. Did you watch Eric Dyer? Did you see him against Brentford? That was tragic.
Romero's their only good centre half. Sorry, Jaffet Tanganga.
There seems to be at 26, he's not even League One level.
No.
He would struggle playing Crew away. He was so bad against Brentford. They will be begging Romero gets back.
Whoever played up front for Crew would manage to beat him every time. Don't know who you are, but a striker for Crew.
We'll find out.
We're going to find out. He was awful. Eric
the
Dyer
Crew striker is.
Tanganga is not good enough.
Yeah.
Davinson Sanchez is hit and miss. Laurie does well for France.
Crew Alexandria, they play yesterday. Oh, they lost 2-0 to Stockport. That's tough on them. And up front was Daniel Adji.
Oh.
That's exciting.
I recognise the name.
Yeah, you might recognise him from Burnley a few years back, and then Blackpool, and then Oxford. I remember him playing for them.
He scored 93
I love that. Daniel Adji.
He scored 11 goals in 93 games. I thought he scored 93 goals in 11 games.
So far, in 20 appearances this season, 6 goals from 4.32 XG. Fairly solid. 7 goals in 34 games for Crew since joining in January of this year. So, 1 calendar year, 7 goals.
Not bad.
It's not great, is it?
He would still beat Jeff Tanganga.
Well done, Daniel Adji.
Well done. Shout out to you, man.
They're in League 2, by the way.
Yes, I say. Stockport. Might be. So we're now to
League
2.
Crew are 17th.
Oh dear.
Stockport 11th. That's fairly strong. They got promoted this year. Anyway.
Basically, Tottenham have nothing.
Yeah, Tottenham are doing absolutely naffle, really.
I don't understand why, because they are rubbish.
Yeah, they do need improvement.
I think they're going to find themselves slipping down the table.
Who would you bring in? Tottenham centre halves, right?
Longley also didn't look great.
Yeah, forgot they had him. He's not good.
I think that is the problem. They've got Sanchez, Dyer, Tanganga, Longley, who are all
Romero.
I mean, Romero's quite good.
Romero's really good, yeah.
But they've got 4 centre halves that aren't good enough.
And I don't know why they play a 3-pack there.
Yeah.
Stick another man in midfield.
Because you've got
Anything,
Basuma.
yeah, just... Right,
Although, if one of them gets injured, you've got Oliver.
Basuma was terrible against Brentford.
He was awful.
Really bad.
Where was Bentancur?
I don't know. Injured.
Because again, Højbjerg looked good.
Tired.
Kane scored. Son was missing. So was Kulusevski.
Yeah, Son again. Really poor
Questions.
performance.
But I think Tottenham going to sit themselves down the table. I think
And Son's obviously his place at stake now for Richarlison.
Yeah, I think Liverpool look good, but there are still a few things that need to be sorted out after that Villa game.
Yeah, but I think Gakpo solves their biggest issue, which was Alex
But I do think defensively, I think second half Villa were the better team. Chelsea,
but they could have been 5-0 at half time.
Yeah.
If that was Cody Gakpo rather than Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain running in behind, one, he'd have timed his run at least once, and two, he'd have got on the ball, driven at goal, finished it. Nunes was painful to watch again.
It'd be interesting how United go, and Chelsea the same. Arsenal are high flying, City have all just got to keep chasing.
We are obviously recording this before Chelsea face Bournemouth, United face
Forest. City play Leeds.
Well, yeah, but this also goes out before City play Leeds. So makes sense. But yeah, so if Martial scored a hat-trick and Chelsea lost 5-0, then everything we said in this show is probably massively outdated. And
if Chelsea won 7-0,
looking for a lot of options.
United lost 1-0,
then United do need a striker.
And Chelsea probably don't need Felix.
Probably do. They definitely
but
do.
But Aubameyang could still score a hat-trick for my fantasy team.
Well, Mount could do the same for mine. That is all, though, for today. Thank you all very much for watching or listening if you're on Spotify. And yeah, thanks for your support this year. This is our last recording of 2022. It's been a brilliant year. We've hit 1,000 subs this year. I know I did a nice Sophie message in the Christmas pod, but that was a bit messy, the Christmas podcast, of us trying to eat for you were at the time doing that. And yeah.
It's been a big year.
Yeah, it has been a good year. This is episode 91. We're only 9 away from 100 now, so yeah, exciting times. Look out for next week. We'll probably be talking about why Liverpool need to sell Darwin Núñez.
Darwin Núñez.
What a player. But yes, make sure to leave a like. Make sure to comment down below your thoughts on today. I'm sure we'll have an essay from XZ to read through. I look forward to reading it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and obviously if you're listening on Spotify, hit download, add to episodes,
rate us 5
follow.
stars.
Yeah, you can do that as well. That does something.
That's
I'm
my
sure.
favourite part.
That is the good bit.
Let's make little alt accounts and rate us 5 stars.
Don't say that, Spotify, we fuming. But that is all from us today. Thank you all very much for watching or listening, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.